Hi, Tim.
Hi, Kelsey.
Thanks for being interviewed today. First, we're going to ask you if you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm Timothy Vollmer. I'm Public Policy Manager at Creative Commons. And what that means is I work on issues around open licensing policy, as well as copyright reform and various advocacy activities in support of the commons worldwide. So we sort of have a two-prong approach. One is advocating for open licensing policies in governments, in large institutions, in libraries, and then also taking a look at how we can adapt and change law and policy to make it more fair for people to access and use copyrighted material around the world.
Great. What role does Creative Commons play in the things that you do?
Sure. Well, it plays a pretty big role because I work with Creative Commons every day, both doing policy work and also working with partners and our network of affiliates on various things, spreading the message about Creative Commons, working with different advocates about how to open the materials and how to pass policies that align with that. Also, the things that I do in a sort of personal capacity are all licensed under CC. So my blog, I share photos on Flickr, and then also things that we do in a professional capacity are shared as under CC as well. So, we write policy papers, we do blog posts, we participate in webinars, we do presentations. All of these things are made available in the open. And actually, we make an effort from the staff, we make an effort to ensure that when we're participating in these things, that the proceedings, the videos, they're all made available under CC licenses. It sort of makes sense that we're, eating our own dog food, I guess.
Great. What would being CC certified mean to you, and what do you think it would mean to the peers? I think this would be interesting for you to talk about what it might mean for the affiliates as well as you.
You're right, I'm already CC certified.
My business card says so.
Right. But I actually think there's quite a lot of value for people, for me and people like me, that already know a bit about Creative Commons. It'd be useful for me and others to dive in more deeply about specific topics that are relevant to the communities that we work in. So for example, we're thinking about developing this CC cert for librarians. And Creative Commons already works with librarians around the world. And, from an organizational standpoint, we can come up with a sort of set of topics that on copyright and open licensing that we would want, any librarian to understand. But it's also going to be important to sort of meet librarians where they are. And, I'm currently not a librarian. I'm a policy wonk. So I think it'd be useful for us to really collaborate with librarians to understand what the current issues are, what are the challenges, and how we can work together to help address some of those things. For example, we've been hearing a lot more about new methods of scientific research, such as text and data mining. And I think this is a topic that a lot of librarians care about because of their faculty and the students that they're working with are hearing about it as well and want to be involved in using these techniques in their scholarship and in their research. And there's sort of an obvious overlap between supporting these faculty and students in that, and also how they can utilize open materials alongside their research. So I think there's some natural sort of overlap, especially with these new technologies and new legal issues, that it'd be very helpful for people like me to have more of a one-on-one, face-to-face interaction with the practitioners on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Do you have any, what you think it might mean for the affiliates?
I think it'd be super useful. I think some of our, the Creative Commons affiliates are quite advanced. Like, there's several CC affiliates that have been working with Creative Commons way longer than some of us staff. So I think sometimes they're the sort of go-to experts from a historical standpoint, and also from a sector standpoint. Like we have people working in various areas, whether it be with libraries, whether it be the governments, whether it be open education initiatives. But we also have new affiliates, and sometimes it's useful to share sort of what's come before, how to address certain things. So I think for some of our new affiliates, this certification would be great because it could get them up to speed with some of the things that we've been working on, some of the main concepts, and also some of the main sort of policy levers that they can help us pull to sort of advocate for the commons.
I agree. I think it's a really exciting way to get new affiliates on board. Not even affiliates, but like new CC members,
right?
Depending on how you want to define that. And the last question is, what might earning a CC certificate look like to you? If you could envision anything, what do you think? Do you have an idea of what we could include?
Right. It's a really good question. I always think getting a certificate is maybe sort of along the lines of being a member of a club. I'm a member of various things. One that comes to mind is sort of Electronic Frontier Foundation, where, you know, I support their work and based on the work that I do and things that I'm interested in. And I support them in, you know, not just in writing and advocating for the things that they're working on, but financially as well. And, you know, something that you get from EFF is like a card, you know, a card carrying member. Now, of course, it might be different in terms of the certificate, but being able to identify with a certain group or a club and being recognized as a go-to person, whether it be in the things that you're sharing, the things that you're writing about, the things that you're advocating for, the things that you're supporting, I think that's a useful way to sort of look at the certificate. And I think it also could provide great professional development experiences, as well as making connections. So if like I want to have someone come on a panel to talk about copyright reform, and I'm looking for someone from a particular sector, I would definitely take a look at the graduates or the people who have gotten the certificates from this CC program, because I think it's an interesting filtering mechanism to find people that are invested and interested in these topics and are willing to share it with other people.
Yeah. There's been a lot of discussion around the role of building a community around this with all the other interviews I've done.
Exactly.
Great. That's everything from me.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Ben.